Welcome to Maxime on Movies.
Hello, everyone.
Today, we are finally getting into the movie that, let's be honest, everyone's been waiting for. Marvel's first family, finally home in the MCU. We're talking the Fantastic Four, First Steps.
It's landed, and it's made quite the splash.
Absolutely. We've looked at everything, the reviews, the audience scores, the box office, all the behind-the-scenes stuff we could find. It's a big one.
Definitely.
But hey, before we really get stuck in, if you love hearing us break down movies like this, do us a quick favor.
Please do.
Hit that like button right now. It really helps us out. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next conversation.
And if you've already seen First Steps,
Yeah, let us know. Drop your rating down in the comments, A, B, C, whatever, and tell us why you give it that score. We really want to hear what you thought.
we do. Okay, so First Steps. It's kind of wild to be talking about a Fantastic Four movie that's, well, a certified hit.
Right. No caveats needed this time.
Exactly. I mean, look at the numbers. And A-Cinema Score audiences loved it. That's huge.
Huge. Especially after 2015.
Oh, yeah. And an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics are mostly on board.
Which, again, for this property is amazing.
And then there's the money. A $218 million opening weekend worldwide. That's not just good. That's a statement.
It really is. It feels like they finally broke the curse. This isn't just another superhero flick. It feels like a real franchise redemption.
Redemption is the word. Decades of trying, and they finally nailed it.
Yeah, and my first impression, honestly, was just relief. Relief and then excitement, because it felt right. That classic adventure vibe, the optimism.
Like the old Lee and Kirby comics?
Exactly. It wasn't all grim and gritty. It felt like discovery, like family. It put the fun back in, you know?
I totally agree on the tone. But
Yeah.
it's interesting, looking at the reviews, while most loved it, especially the cast, the look, the music, we'll get into all that, there was this small but noticeable group of critics who found it, well, a bit safe.
Safe, really. After the 2015 disaster.
Well, yeah. Or maybe boring was the word some used.
Yeah.
Their argument was kind of because it focused so much on the family dynamic, the emotional core, maybe it didn't have that huge, chaotic, modern blockbuster energy. Like the Galactus threat felt more like a morality play than city-destroying spectacle. Did it feel a bit like a required step, a foundation layer, rather than a truly fantastic journey on its own?
I see the point structurally. Maybe it was designed as step one, but calling it safe, I got to push back on that.
Okay.
Think about the pressure. The last one got a C cinema score. That's audiences actively hating it. To make something that people actually love, critically and commercially, that takes guts, not playing it safe. It required some pretty radical choices.
And the most radical choice.
Right up front.
Skipping the origin completely.
Let's dive into that because it changes everything.
Okay, so Section 1. Setting the stage and just throwing the origin story out the window.
It's such a key decision. Matt Shackman, following John Watt's original idea, apparently, just decided, nope, we're not doing the cosmic rays again. And thank goodness for that. We've seen it.
We have. And look, it's a trend that's working, right? Spider-Man. Homecoming just dropped us in. The Batman was year 2. Gunn's new Superman is starting 3 years in.
It shows trust in the audience. Like, we get it. They have powers. Let's move on.
Exactly. They finally stopped spoon-feeding us the same setup. So this movie, it's set on Earth 828, an alternate reality.
Right, which is clever. It sidesteps continuity issues immediately.
Totally. And it's set in a version of the 1960s, but 4 years after they got their powers.
So they're not rookies. They're established. They're famous.
They're icons,
Yeah.
beloved cultural figures already doing the hero thing. That changes the whole dynamic from the start.
It lets them skip the how do I work this phase and
Yeah.
jump straight into the character stuff, the real Fantastic Four stuff.
Like Ben Grimm's whole internal struggle, right?
Yeah.
We meet him after he's been dealing with being the Thing for 4 years.
Yeah, you get the weight of it, the melancholy that Eben Moss-Backrack brought so well, not just the initial shock.
It's a much richer place to start. And Reed isn't just figuring out how to stretch. He's already a leader, a father figure, dealing with global responsibilities.
And that alternate 60s setting, Earth 828, it's not just a backdrop, it's a whole vibe.
Oh, the aesthetic. Let's talk about that retro-futurism because it's gorgeous.
It really is. It's so deliberate, isn't it? A complete rejection of that dark, kind of samey look we sometimes get.
Shackman talked about it. He wanted it authentic to the 60s, but not our 60s.
Right, like what they thought the future would look like back then.
Exactly. Mid-century modern design. The color palettes from old photos, that optimism about technology. Clean lines, flying cars, utopian architecture.
The Baxter Building just looks incredible. Not some grim fortress, but this sleek, hopeful tower.
Yeah. And people compared the visuals to classics like Interstellar or even 2001, A Space Odyssey.
That 2001 comparison feels right. There's a seriousness to the science, a visual thoughtfulness.
And the colors, those baby blue uniforms.
Finally, comic accurate, not those grab gray things from the last one.
Ugh, yeah. The blue, the whole vibrant look, it makes the sci-fi feel tangible, classic, not just, generic CGI.
So, thinking about that, the retro look, the practical sets they apparently used a lot, did you feel like it grounded the cosmic stuff more than just pure digital effects would have? Like those comparisons to Interstellar in 2001 suggest?
I absolutely think so.
Yeah.
Knowing they built parts of the Baxter Building or detailed Times Square, it just gives everything more weight. Jackman even mentioned building miniatures, like Kubrick did.
Wow, miniatures, that's old school.
Right. And it works. It makes the world feel real. He also talked about grounding Yancey Street, Ben's old neighborhood,
Oh, yeah. How?
with specific community details, a Jewish bakery, a Puerto Rican deli, little touches that make it feel lived in, contrasting with the high-tech world the FF inhabit.
That contrast is great. The sleek future next to the authentic past.
And underpinning it all is that tone you mentioned, that old-school retro optimism.
Yeah, they're famous. They accept it. No brooding secret identities.
They're celebrity scientists, basically. And because they're established, the movie doesn't bog down explaining everything. They use those newsreel clips, right?
Yeah, that was smart. Quick, efficient way to catch everyone up, whether you know the comics or not. Gets you right into the story.
And the story they wanted to tell wasn't about the powers. It was about the family.
Okay, section 2. The core message. Family, parenthood, and that whole duality thing.
Right. Once they set the scene, the movie just zooms in on this central idea. They're a family first, superheroes second. That's the emotional bedrock.
It's so interesting because, yeah, you've got Galactus, this huge cosmic threat looming.
Planet Eater level threat.
Exactly. But the heart of the movie, the thing driving Reed and Sue, is her pregnancy, Franklin Richards.
The baby becomes the center and soul of the film, as one review put it. Every big decision revolves around protecting this unborn child.
Which makes the huge stakes feel incredibly personal, right? It taps into those universal parent anxieties. Will my kid be okay? Am I ready for this? Can I protect them?
Totally. But amplified. Because Franklin isn't just any baby. He's potentially got world-altering cosmic power.
And then Galactus shows up, voiced by Ralph Ineson, by the way. Great choice.
Menacing. And let's just pause to appreciate he's not a cloud.
Yes. Finally, the big purple helmet, the Kirby design. Terrifying.
As he should be. But his motivation. It's not just random destruction.
No, it's deeper. He talks about this eternal hunger, this torment.
Right. And he senses Franklin's power, thinks the baby can somehow absorb his hunger, give him peace. So he makes that awful offer.
Spare Earth, but give me the child.
Chilling. And suddenly, it's not a simple stop the bad guy plot. It's this impossible moral choice, the ultimate trolley problem.
Sacrifice your unborn son to save billions, that sequence where they grapple with it.
Wow. And the movie doesn't pull punches on how the world reacts either.
No, the public turns on them. Protests, demanding they hand Franklin over. Seeing the FF as selfishly choosing their family over the planet.
It adds such a complex layer. Because meanwhile, the world is trying to save itself, using those teleportation bridges Reed helped develop.
That's such an important detail. Reed's genius, the Future Foundation, it wasn't just about gadgets. It led to global peace, demilitarization before Galactus. They were diplomats too.
Shows his intellect is about more than stretching. It's about building a better world. But even with that global cooperation, the core conflict remains internal, with Reed and Sue.
And Sue's line, that resolution is just perfect.
I will not sacrifice my child for this world, but I will not sacrifice this world for my child.
Goosebumps. It's not choosing one over the other. It's choosing to fight together as a family, find another way.
Refusing the easy answer or the impossible sacrifice, but that public pressure angle, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you were just a regular person on Earth, 828, seeing this happen.
Would you see them as heroes or as privileged parents endangering everyone?
Exactly. It's uncomfortable, but it elevates the stakes beyond just CGI. It makes Sue, especially, seem like the true leader making the hard call.
Absolutely. Man, this is getting deep. Okay, quick pause. If you're finding this discussion interesting, please give the video a like. Check if you're subscribed. It lets us know you want more of this.
Yes, please do. Okay, so that family dynamic, that moral core, it all rests on the actors bringing it to life. Let's talk casting.
Section 3, characters and performances. The Fantastic Family and their herald.
Overall, I think Marvel knocked it out of the park here. Mostly definitive versions, but
Huh.
there was some debate, wasn't there? Particularly around Reed.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I was surprised by the mixed reactions, honestly, given how beloved he is.
People love the goofy 60s dad vibe, and he definitely sold the worry, the weight of that moral crisis.
He did. The pressure felt real.
But the critique was he maybe too likable, too suave, too well-adjusted?
Interesting. Like, not enough of the classic Reed awkwardness. The obsessive scientist who sometimes neglects his family for the work.
Exactly. That friction, that flawed genius aspect that often strains his relationships, especially with Ben.
Yeah.
Some felt Pascal's version was a bit too smooth, maybe even pedestrian.
I wonder if that was tied to the setting. Like, in this optimistic Earth 828, maybe he had worked through some of that stuff, focused more on diplomacy and family.
Could be. Which maybe ties into how he used his powers. Or rather, didn't use them much.
Yeah, that was noticeable. He barely stretches in complex ways. It's mostly functional, grabbing something, bracing something, no intricate shapes.
Was that a creative choice, do you think? To emphasize his intellect over the powers? Or maybe just avoiding the CGI nightmare that stretchy powers always seem to be?
Probably a bit of both. Stretchy effects have a bad history. Maybe they wanted to avoid the cartoonish look, keep it grounded, focus on the brain, not the body bending.
Seems likely. Prioritize the character realism for Reed over the visual spectacle, which is unusual for a superhero movie these days.
It is. Okay, but moving from mixed to universally acclaimed. Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm.
Oh, just fantastic. Everyone loved her. She had that perfect warm and motherly vibe, but also total strength.
She wasn't just the supportive wife. She felt like the anchor, the diplomat, the emotional core, and the powerhouse.
Totally. Establishing peace pre-Galactus, making that impossible choice, and then in the climax, using her force fields offensively, pushing back Galactus, she really did the heavy lifting.
Yeah, she kind of dominated the film, but in the best way. A truly active, invisible woman.
And speaking of definitive, Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm. The Thing.
Oh, man. Breakout performance. This was the thing.
Finally, not just the grumpy muscle or the comic relief, they got the complexity. His brilliance, his sadness, that man versus monster trauma.
Moss-Bachrach just embodied it. People said he was born for Ben. Even through the mocap, you felt that kindness, that melancholy, that loyalty. It was all in the eyes.
And the look. Can we talk about the look?
Best live-action thing ever. Period.
No question. Comic accurate, detailed, the rock texture, the color, that iconic brow ridge. Perfect. No more blocky rubber suit vibes.
And the mocap felt seamless. You believed it was him under there. His voice might be a bit smoother than, say, Chickley's, but the emotion was all there. Performance and VFX just perfectly synced.
Total triumph. Okay, next up, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Joseph Quinn.
I admit, I expected the usual cocky hothead, but he was more interesting than that.
Yeah, better than expected, right?
Yeah.
They gave him that subplot, the cryptographer trying to figure out the Silver Surfer's language.
Which was smart. It made him integral to the solution, used his brain, not just his flames, gave him purpose.
And his dynamic with Ben, really strong. That felt like the core relationship sometimes, even more than Ben and Reed.
Totally. Quinn and Moss-Bachrach had great chemistry, that brotherly banter and bond.
Okay, and the Herald. Julia Garner as Shellaball, the Silver Surfer.
A change from Norrin Radd, the usual surfer, using his love interest from the comics instead.
And Garner brought a lot more depth, I thought. Less stoic, more emotional journey.
Yeah, she starts cold, obedient to Galactus, but you see her doubt grow. Her arc is about realizing the horror of what Galactus does and choosing redemption.
It felt earned, her turn against him. Made her more than just a cosmic surfboard rider.
Definitely. Okay, so great cast bringing these icons to life. Let's talk about how Shackman put it all together.
Section 4. Director style, visuals, and sound.
Yeah, we touched on the retro aesthetic, but Shackman's whole approach felt different for an MCU film. That focus on practical stuff.
You could feel it. It didn't look like it was all shot on a green screen. He talked about drawing from 60s filmmaking techniques.
Like the miniatures you mentioned for space scenes. That's amazing.
Right. Like Kubrick. It gives it that tangible feel. And the sets themselves, the Baxter Building, Times Square, they felt detailed, lived in, like they cared about every corner.
The color palette, too, so deliberate. That Carrie blue and white for the team, the Fantasticar.
Gorgeous.
Contrasting with the Thing's orange, Galactus's purples. It's all very clean, very mid-century modern. It looks optimistic.
And the camera work felt different too, didn't it? Wider lenses, more deliberate framing. Less shaky cam action.
Yeah, it felt more composed, more like classic sci-fi. It gave the big moments weight, let you absorb the scale and the emotion.
Matched the contemplative tone of the story, the moral questions.
And the VFX highlight, we have to say it again, Galactus. Finally seeing him done right, that massive, terrifying planet eater form. Huge sigh of relief.
Totally. And the Fantastic Art, that thing looked ripped right from the comics, but real. That sort of Jetsons meets NASA vibe.
It instantly signals this is going to be a fun adventure, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And speaking of tone, the music. Michael Giacchino.
Oh, the score is phenomenal. Giacchino just gets it. The Incredibles up, so many classics.
And this score is right up there. People are calling it one of the best parts of the movie because it has a theme, a memorable, hummable theme.
Which feels rare these days.
It does. His music hits all the right notes, optimistic, epic, but really emotional, too. Perfectly matches the visuals and the story.
It's impossible not to think of The Incredibles, right? Which was basically the best Fantastic Four movie we had before this one.
Huh. True. And this movie almost leans into that comparison. The super family, the retro style, the baby with powers, even the same composer.
It's like they finally embraced what makes the FF work, that pulpy, adventurous, family-first heart. Giacchino's score even apparently nodded to the rise of the Silver Surfer score subtly.
I heard that too. A nice little touch. But overall, the music just screams classic adventure with real stakes.
It confirms they made the right choice, didn't they? To ditch the grimdark trend and just be sincerely, joyfully Fantastic Four. The score seals that optimism.
Okay, so everything builds to the climax.
Section 5, the climax and those big future implications.
Right, to the final act, where the family, the science, the cosmic threat all smash together. Galactus is here, the clock is ticking.
And the plan is pure Reed Richards brilliance, mixed with sheer desperation.
Lure Galactus to Times Square, make it personal to Earth, then use all the power from the eastern seaboard, funneled through that last teleportation bridge.
To try and push him away from the planet. Insane.
Huge gamble. And it leads to that big sacrifice moment.
Yeah.
Johnny steps up.
Yeah, Human Torch, ready to burn himself out, flying through Galactus' ship, his big hero moment, proving he's more than the jokester.
But then, the switch. Shaladol, the Silver Surfer, stops him.
Right. Inspired by their family love, seeking redemption, she takes his place. Sacrifices herself instead.
Which caused some debate, didn't it? That substitution. People brought up the Rose Finn scene from The Last Jedi.
Ah, yeah. The argument being that Finn's potential sacrifice was undercut by Rose saving him, shifting the focus and maybe lessening the impact for Finn.
Exactly. So here, did Shalabal saving Johnny weaken his heroic moment? Did they hedge their bets to keep the popular torch alive?
Or was it the perfect culmination of her arc, showing redemption through sacrifice inspired by family?
Divisive, for sure. Depends on how you saw it.
And the drama doesn't stop there. Right in the middle of all this, Sue gives birth.
On the ship, near a neutron star.
Yeah.
Using its gravity to help with the contractions. Wildest birth scene ever.
Probably. Combining cosmic science with the most intimate human moment.
And then Franklin is born.
Yeah.
And we see his power immediately. Sue collapses, maybe even dies for a second.
And baby Franklin's cosmic energy just flares out and revives her instantly.
Confirms his power level, definitely. But maybe a little too convenient. Some critics felt it was too quick, undoing the stakes of the birth scene almost immediately.
Yeah, like the baby's power was a built-in undo button.
Yeah.
Still, the whole sequence, the moral choice, the birth, the power reveal, it all hammers home that Franklin is the key.
The key to everything, it seems. Which leads us directly to
The post-credits scene, Dr. Doom.
Oh yeah, mid-credits. We see him from behind uncredited, but heavily implied to be Robert Downey Jr. wearing that comics-accurate mask they showed off.
And he's there for one reason, to kidnap baby Franklin from the Baxter building.
This isn't just a tease. This is the setup. First Steps is basically episode 1 of the road to Avengers, Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Totally. The theory is Doom needs Franklin's reality warping power. Maybe he's the MCU's Molecule Man equivalent.
Right. To create his battle world, just like in the comics that inspired the whole multiverse saga, Doom is positioned as the real endgame threat.
Which brings up that final question, though. Did the Doom tease work? You have Galactus, this massive world-ending threat.
Dealt with, sort of,
Yep.
pushed away, not destroyed.
Right. And then immediately the movie says, okay, forget him. Here's the actual main boss. Did it undercut Galactus, make him feel like just a setup for Doom?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
The movie felt so self-contained, rejecting the usual MCU connectivity, until that scene snaps it right back into the big saga plan. It's a bit jarring.
Yeah.
But maybe the fact they didn't defeat Galactus helps. He's still out there, a force of nature. Doom is different. He's calculation, ambition, intellect.
That's a good way to put it. Galactus is cosmic disaster. Doom is strategic horror. Two different nightmares.
So the film managed to tell its own family story and lay the groundwork. A successful first step, like the title says.
Okay, wrapping up then. Looking back, the big wins, casting, especially Kirby and Moss Bachrach, nailed it. The whole retro-futuristic look, brilliant, gave it such a unique identity. And focusing on the family theme, that was the key to finally getting it right.
Agreed. On the downside, maybe the pacing lagged a bit for some. Reed's powers felt underused.
And maybe some emotional moments like Sue's revival felt a bit too easy.
Minor quibbles, maybe. Because, bottom line, this is easily the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever had. A truly triumphant arrival in the MCU.
Absolutely. Okay, now we want to hear from you, the audience. The movie makes a strong case that the FF are great because they put family first, above being superheroes.
So our question for you is, what specific decision or moment in the movie best showed that importance of family over the duty of saving the world?
Was it Sue saying they'd fight for both? Was it Johnny ready to sacrifice himself? Reed refusing Galactus's deal? Something else.
Let us know your pick down in the comments. We're really curious to see what resonated most with you.
Yeah, definitely tell us. And please, if you enjoyed hanging out with us, hit that like button one more time. Make sure you're subscribed for future chats.
Your support keeps us going. Share your Doom theories, too.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. This was Maximia on Movies.
See you next time.
See you next time at the movies.